Okay, so in this video we're going to continue working in the UV unwrap. We're going to take a look at a couple more features. So one of the things, again, is that all the primitives are given their UV coordinates. I'd have to say they're good. That's what you should be using if you're just sticking with a primitive. But to demo, I am going to go and destroy the UV coordinates for this teapot. So I'm just going to go into my modifier stack and then click U and get a unwrap UVW map and put it onto this teapot. And again, the green line is our seams. This is where all of our seams are, and we're just going to be playing around with it. So what I want to do is destroy this and start fresh. I'm going to remove this. I have the teapot, and right now it's a parametric object. And we're going to go into our Utilities tab, and then we're going to remove the UVs that are assigned to this. Now you don't need to do this. I just want to show you how to do it if you feel you want to remove them. When you're in the UV unwrap, you can do some presets and go in and just alter the islands or seams as you desire. So underneath More, they give you a list of different utilities, and one of them is UVW remove. And we're going to click on that and click OK. And then we get the option here, remove maps and or material from selected nodes. So my object is picked, and I'm going to say remove. Again, if I need to remove materials, this is where I can do this. But remove the UVW. And it tells me it's only going to work on a collapsed editable mesh. So let's go and make it an editable mesh. I'm going to right click, convert it to an editable mesh, and collapse meaning we don't have multiple layers on it. So if you do have multiple modifiers, you can go in and you will see collapse 2, and you can just collapse it down, compressing them all into one layer. Now we're going to go back and click the button, and it should be reset. So now we'll come back. I really don't like working with an editable mesh. It's older than editable poly in terms of the amount of tools that we have access to. But you can work with the editable mesh. I am going to convert it to an editable poly, just for consistency. And now go and apply this UV unwrap to it. And then go in and take a look in the editor. So now you'll see we get a very different set of seams than we had before. So only on our open edges do we have a seam. And it's just one big island for each component. We don't have smaller pieces. So again, I wouldn't necessarily do this. I would stick with the UV mapping that they give you and just manipulate them so you can figure out what it is that you're painting. But just to show how to go through and edit the UVs. Okay, so I have this, and I do want to put another seam in. So we'll just go, and I'll do it on the side just because it's a little easier to see. And I'm just going to make a seam and bring it down. There's lots of different ways to cut this apart. We can use our projection maps. We'll take a look at that later. But for this, we are going to go into my edge mode, and then we are going to add seams to it. So we have 3 different choices here. One is to create seams, so we're just going to edit seams. The other is to do point-to-point seams, and then this is to convert a selection into seams. So we'll take a look at these, but the best one in terms of quickly moving through is this. So if I have a selection, I can just convert it with this button. But if I want to go and make point-to-point seams, this is the better of the 3 for just quickly laying it out. So to edit the seams, we can just come in, and I do want to make sure I have edge faces on in my viewport so I can see what we're doing. And again, I just want to be able to grab a part of this. So if I click, you'll see they turn blue. And I can just click using the edit seams. Now, I'm going to just undo this and go the point-to-point seams. So with this one, I'll just angle it so we can kind of see. When we click on, I'll go to, try and get to this center point. You see I can grab and drag across an area. You don't want to go too far because you don't want it to snap to another edge. But I'm just going to click once I get something I like. I'm holding down the Alt and the middle mouse. Again, holding down Alt and middle mouse to maneuver, and then getting to an angle and clicking. Alt, middle mouse, and doing it again with my left mouse. Alt, middle mouse. And this color is a little hard to read. Let's change that real quick. Yeah, we'll do gray. It's a little too bright for me. And I just want to make sure that I'm making a straight line across. And again, Alt to move. Excuse me. Middle mouse button to get my hand and move. Click. Alt to orbit the object. Left click, and I just come back and get this lined up and get that last little bit of the seam. Right click to end that function. So I just want to make sure we have all the way down to both sides. And now we can click to convert selection to a seam. So I do have a display issue with my computer, and the issue is it doesn't change color. It should, but it really doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and grab polygons, go by element, and click